Today we are going to talk about idol worship. So, do you know what is worship? What does worship mean?
Adorar.
Aha, that's it. So, we are going to talk about what people worship, what people adore. And the question today is, what do you worship? All right, so look at this. From the ancient times, people has worshipped many different kind of idols. For example, in here we can see some of the Mesopotamian idols, some of the Greek idols. Well, they were not idols, but they were kind of like semi goddess. Here we have some other cultures, for example, the Aztec culture. Here we have, here, look at this. I remember that I knew that.
Maybe
Yeah.
culture.
So long time ago, Egyptian people used to worship cats. So what do you know about the idols that people used to worship in the ancient times? What about you, Rogelio? What could you talk to us about worshiping?
I am hearing a lot of people. Some people, somebody thinks, and I am for it. I am agree. All idols significate or represent the same God. So the people can do different images, but the divinity of God is only one. So in that case, all people across the history has worship the same divinity. I mean, only one God. I think it's true.
All right, thank you very much. Rogelio, please tell us, who's next?
Next picture.
Who is going to be the next person to talk?
Oh, please, Marisela.
Thank you.
I want to know what she thinks about it.
Excellent, thank you.
Okay. About idol in the of their ancestors. Well, I think the idols, everything has existing until the actuality, like gods, but depending the country is different. Like animals, persons. I don't know.
Yes, you're right. So in different cultures, some animals or some people have been worshipped. For example, Egyptians, what did the old Egyptians worship? I know that their gods were tended to be in some animal shapes. For example, a bird, a dog, and they used to worship cats.
Yes.
Okay, so interesting. Mari, please tell me, who's next?
Sandra.
All right, thank you.
Thank you. Well, I don't know much about worships idols, but I think that in all the cultures in the world, people worship animals or person or whatever because they need to feel care, like pamper for a very high thing about them.
Mhm.
And then they use that things or animals or person that they have in the environment that they are.
Aha, yes, that's it. So people need to feel protection for anybody else, any superior force.
Exactly.
Hey, that's interesting. Thank you very much. All right, Sandy, who do you want to listen to now?
Let me see. Um, um, Irma, please.
All right, thank you.
Thank you.
Thanks to you.
Well, I know something about the cats in the Egypt. They adored the cats. And one time they fight with another culture, and they put many cats in the front, and the Egyptians can matar,
Couldn't kill?
don't kill the cats, and that guerra,
At war?
that war is ganaron.
They beat.
They beat the another tribe because the Egyptians adored the cats.
Hey, that was strategy. You know what? They were so intelligent.
Yes.
I think that was so effective.
And true is an story true. I reading in some place. I don't know in this moment where.
But it was a very interesting war strategy. Yeah,
Yes.
that was so nice. All right, thank you very much. All right, thank you. Yes.
Thank you, teacher. And I think I don't know if is Brenda there.
All right. Yes. Thank you.
Next.
Hi, everybody.
Hello.
What picture, Maggie, is the same, the cat?
Yep. If you want to talk about it or whatever you may like.
Okay. Well, I think that these idols, those idols, um, um, they are many idols in the antique times because these idols represent um, like a god for us, for example. But in our culture, this god represents the nature, naturaleza,
Nature. Yeah.
nature, and this and those gods help to, for example, make the rain or the farm or another things for the improve the circumstance in the I don't know, the towns, the cities.
Maybe about fertility.
Mhm. For our culture is very rich because there are many civilizations. For example, the May culture and Aztec, and well, for example, for another country is very wonderful. This civilization and their gods.
Their divinities.
Hmm.
Hey, that's wonderful. Thank you very much, Brenda. All
You're
right,
welcome.
tell me, who's next?
Let me see. Um, Rafael,
Right, thank you.
you're welcome.
Okay, teacher. In this picture, I look at different cultures and different idols and gods, and the people mm, and the people in the situations here with your gods, and I have the people different rituals and gods. No?
All right.
I look crocodile and cat and beast mythologics, and I'm not sure this culture Greeks or wrong.
Well, they were the ancient Egyptians, and they were also the ancient Mesopotamian people.
Okay. And this, ¿cómo se dice? Bueno, I look the Mexican gods, and the gods are ¿cómo diré? How do you say? No, bueno, no, yo creo que se dirá igual, ¿no? ¿Es blanco o quién es?
It's the same. If you are going to talk about something endemic, the name doesn't change.
Yes, teacher.
All right, Rafael, thank you very much.
You're
All right,
welcome, teacher.
you know what? Rogelio wrote, I worship the human. The human have to be the begin and the end of the whole universe. Hey, that's very interesting, Rafael. Yes, you're right. Rogelio, I mean. All right, Rafael, please tell me who's next.
Rogelio, teacher.
All right. Rogelio said also the worship of Aztec culture seems very interesting. Oh, yes. All right. Rogelio, a question. You mentioned that you worship the human, but please explain us your idea about this.
Yes, because for long time needs the human needs divinities or powers of heaven or so. But for example, the Greek culture, they have the base of the worship the humanism or
Humanism.
say again, please.
Humanism.
Humanism, yes, because the human is the center of the universe, not another divinities or gods. And I think the human in this moment, in this time, no need or doesn't need the humanity don't need believe or worship divinities or gods uh, because the human can believe in himself or themselves, and can do all things, can do, can live, and can develop mm, develop in their own, without divinities or worship gods. Thank you.
Yes, I understand your idea. You know what? I agree with you. I agree with you because we have created so many things, so many different, not only things, material things, I mean, but also we have created ideologies and we have created different kinds of faith.
Yes.
So we are so diverse. We are really diverse. You know, we have the diversity of cultures, the diversity of beliefs. So yes, that's so interesting. All right, thank you very much, Rogelio. You know what? Let's go to the next part. Give me a second, please. All right, here we go. Look at this. In the ancient times, we could see that people used to worship cats, they used to worship eggs. But in the actuality, nowadays, in some places, people worship also some animals. For example, as far as we can see, here in this image, cows are considered holy and auspicious in Hindu culture. So cows, of course, are worshipped by people. I thought, well, no, I listened about something that they say that cows walk along the streets and they if a car is coming and a cow is coming, the car has to stop and to make a bow because there's a cow passing by. And so look at this. Here we have, for example, another kind of worship. It is in the actual times, in today's life. Here there is also, I guess this is in India also, it is a temple where rats are worshipped. And so there are enormous pots with milk, especially for rats. So do you know anything like this? Something similar? What about you, Rafael?
Hello. In this picture, I look the monkey, which venerate with humor in this culture Hindu.
In the Hindu culture.
From the culture, this is Hare Krishna.
Yes, it's a Hare Krishna, I guess.
Okay, teacher. This is interesting. The cows is important in India, and the rats is.
So do you know anything similar like this? Something that you would like to comment?
The people consider the animals is reincarnation with your parents and other lives with the cycle of karmic, and the rats or cows is, how do you say cuidarlos?
Take care.
Take care and take care, teacher.
So people think that the animals, these little animals, can take care of them, or that people has to take care of the animals. What's the idea?
Okay, the people take care animals
Yes.
because your creencias religious. ¿Cómo se dice? How do you say creencias?
Religious beliefs.
Religious, your lips.
Beliefs.
Beliefs?
Beliefs.
Beliefs.
Beliefs,
Oh,
yes.
yes. Is necessary. The animals is possible are your parents
Uh-huh.
and
Yes. You know what, Rafael? You made me remind a movie picture that I saw a long time ago. The name of this movie picture was 7 Years in the Tibet. And it
yes,
talked about an architect or an engineer, I don't remember pretty well, but he was a professionist in construction and he was in charge of building, I
A
guess,
theater.
a building, yes, but
A
he
movie,
had,
a theater.
but do you remember what was the situation? What happened in that movie picture?
yes, teacher. Do you like Brad Pitt, teacher?
Well, yes, I like how he works. And
Oh,
was Brad Pitt the starring of this picture?
Brad Pitt.
mm,
Uh-huh. All right. And could you remind me what was the movie picture about?
7 years of the Tibet.
7 years in the Tibet.
Oh my, no, teacher.
No?
Is India
I think
and
I
Tibet.
can.
Kind of like that. All right. Rogelio, do you remember about that movie picture?
Yes, yes. Starring was Brad Pitt, and the culture is in the north of China,
Uh-huh.
Mongol culture, and they gonna build one theater to see movies. So Imperator want to see movies, and they gonna build the construction, and the architect say, Brad Pitt say, in this line we are gonna put one wall, and the people say, no, 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 right here now, right here now, and he say, why not? Because right here are a lot of ants, and we can't disturb them. And they change the place of the construction because there are a house of ants, something like that.
Yes, and that they believed that it was necessary to protect insects, to
Yes.
protect the little animals, because maybe in ancient times they were their mother or their aunt or any relative, any friend, so they couldn't kill them because they were family.
Yes. Yes.
So they spent lots of times looking for the correct place to build the theater because of the people who didn't want to kill the insects, to disturb even the insects.
Yes.
Yes, that was so interesting. That was kind of a worship.
And the culture, Hindu culture, their religions beliefs say, when you died or the people died, in the next life, in another life, they will live in one cow. So the cows are or have the spirit of our
Ancestors?
ancestors. Yes.
Oh my, yes. Wow, so interesting. Thank you very much, Rogelio. All right, Brenda, could you talk to us about anything like that? Do you know anything?
For example, in our culture, well, the the dog called Xoloscuincle. Um,
Uh-huh.
the people believe that this dog helps to cruise
Cross.
to the cross to beyond to the dead, the life of the dead, um, to the heaven, and helps to the people to cross to over there or to beyond when they die. And
Uh-huh.
for that, the Xoloscuincle is a sacred sacred animal.
Yes, that's right. They believed that the Xoloitzcuintle was going to help the dead people to cross the Ipalnemoaya to go to the Mictlan. And Mictlantecutli, the god of the darkness, was going to receive the people because the Xoloitzcuintle was the guiding, was leading the souls of the people.
Okay.
Yes,
Mm-hmm.
yes, you're right. Hey, that's so interesting. All right, thank you very much, Brenda.
You're welcome.
All right, anybody else? Irma, please talk to us about anything that you know about idols worship or animals worship.
Yes, teacher. I know the cows are important in the India. They are dying for no eat, but they can eat cows because they think are important in his religion.
Mm-hmm, that's it.
And the rats are another example because they think are sagradas,
Sacred.
sacred. And the interesting of this is religion is the rats are in a temple, but they
Mm-hmm.
don't permit another rats come in, and only the rats is they are in that temple are family, um, a grandmother, mother, son, but they kill another rats that are the another place.
My goodness, look at this, so interesting. And
Yes.
yes, you're right. In India, people suffer a famine. They are dying for a starving. They don't have food. They can eat. They are very poor, but they can't eat cows, and they have a lot because they are sacred. Yes, you're right. And about rats, you know what? It is so interesting because look, the rats can drink milk, but non-humans.
Yes.
All right. Thank you very much, Irma. All right, Sandy, what do you think about it?
Mm, now I remember that in certain tribes in Africa, they worship goats, like well, not like a god, but they keep it safe and treat them very well because they know that the the goats, the cattle of goats, I don't know how do you say manada,
Uh-huh. The cattle of goats.
the cattle of goats are their support of life, you know. Then they treat it very well, very well.
Oh my, that's so interesting. Thank you very much, Sandy. Mary,
My pleasure.
all right. Mary, what do you think about it?
Well, I don't know much about uh, this, but I'm doing research in the internet very quickly, and I found about the cats in Egypt. Only the, how do you say, the pharaoh?
The pharaoh.
The, how?
Pharaoh, but they write it with PH.
Yes, the pharaoh. Only the pharaoh could have one, like Cleopatra, and they think the cat was a demigod. Um, that's the reason because only the pharaoh could have.
Wow, so interesting. But you know what? For me, it is so interesting to see that time ago, cats were worshipped. They thought that cats were sacred. But what happened later on, whenever they were the middle age, cats were supposed to be evil. And so they kill the cats because they were animals from the darkness.
Oh,
Black cats.
oh yeah,
So they were supposed to be the messengers of the black spirits.
yes,
How the ideas can change, how the ideology, and how from country to country, from time to time, they also
yes,
change their mind.
yes.
Right. You know what? Here, Rogelio wrote, in the Aztec culture, the Mictlan is one word to rest. Over there, our ancestors were not divided into two groups, bad or good ones, because we all aren't perfect. We are little bad and little good. Hey, Rogelio, thank you very much. That is so interesting again.
Thank you.
All right. You know what? Now let's go to another very interesting part of our topic. Now we are going to see how we worship now. So in here we can see some animals asking for mercy, praying to God, no?
Yeah.
All right. Well, he's a little exaggerated. He shouldn't have done it like this. But all right, that's the idea. And look at this. What do you worship? Could you talk that? Well, yes, worshipping was not only to have an idol like a god, but nowadays we have some other idols. They rule our lives. For example, the worship for money. We worship ourselves. And look at this. This is a chuckle, obviously. No, this is kind of like a joke. It says, I was going to offer that guy untold riches, but he ended up trading his soul for the rest of my candy bar.
Mhm.
Yeah, but what do you think about it? Do we have any worship nowadays, or don't we? Please do me a favor. Pay attention to some of the images in here, and please talk to me about what do you think about nowadays worshiping.
Teacher, I think the mercadotecnia, the marketing is very important to the people because they want things they don't need.
That's it.
And I am idolatry my table, my computer, and my cellular.
That's it. You know what? I guess that we have been in the point that you can go out of your house with no keys. You say, my keys, oh my, that's a problem. But anyway, but whenever you say my cell phone, my goodness, my cell phone, it doesn't matter that you are late to work. You go back home and you take your.
Yes, many people. I work in an hospital, and the doctors can leave if they don't keep his cellular uh, cerca from there. And then tell me, say you, then when they operan,
When they
when
make an
they,
operation.
when they are in an operation, they have the cellular cross there and tell an enfermera
A nurse.
and a nurse, please, take the call.
My
And
goodness, is it?
yes, yes,
Are you
it's so
serious?
yes,
That's incredible.
yes, teacher. It's the technology.
Yeah, that's it. So I don't know then if it is idolatry that we have, if it is worship, of it is dependence, or if it is slavery.
Well, in my case, I need it because I study, and my table is my book. My cellular is the way I can be communicated with the people, and my computer is the fix I need to do my work, and I need that tree.
That's it. You know what? I think that it has turned not only into a thing, an object that we have, it is a tool for working or for studying. For example, look at us now. It is 7:45. You should be taking supper or taking watching television with your family, and you are here taking a class.
Yes, teacher, that's right.
Yes, that's it. All right. Thank you very much, Irma.
Thank you.
Rafael, okay, what do you think about this? Do you worship anything?
Oh my God. Just teacher. In, in my life, in the lives with the people, I like an idolatry artist and the different um, genres, musicians and musicians,
That's it. That's pretty good. And who do you worship?
and the worship and Nirvana teacher.
Wow.
I like rock and hard rock.
Hey, that's wonderful.
Yes, teacher.
Somebody told me one day, you know what, Maggie? They were not musicians. And I said, what? Weren't they musicians? And they said, no, they were geniuses. They were gods. Oh my. All right, I agree.
Yes,
Okay, that's pretty good. Thank you very much, Rafael. All right, Rogelio, please tell me, do you worship anything?
I think we must or we ought different worship of fanaticisms or idolatry because are different things. Mm, I think worship is something spiritually and maybe necessary for the people, and the fanaticisms or idolatry is too bad because it's something that rest intelligence of a human. think that money or gold or stuff are divine or something like this is like what's the meaning in English? Enfermedad, sickness,
Sickness.
mental sickness. Yes, I
Uh-huh.
think it's near of mental sickness.
Hey, that's it. Excellent. Thank you very much, Rogelio.
Thank
All
you.
right, Mary, what do you think?
I agree with Rogelio. For example, I, uh, I worship, uh, I'm not even a religious person, so uh, like worship, I don't think so. I love so much, uh, for example, my family, my pets, but worship, I don't know.
That's different, no? Isn't it?
Yes, yeah, like the person who likes some football team or soccer team. I don't know if worship is the right word.
It could be, you know what, whenever they go to the point of fanatism, I think that it could be. For example, the people who could fight with anybody else because they said that the soccer team they like is much better than the other one. They fight and they argue. I guess that it's fanatism.
Yes, fanatism, but no worship, right?
Or could it be worship? What do you think about it?
I think like Rogelio said, it's more spiritual.
Aha, that's pretty good. All right, thank you very much. Mary, thank you very much. Sandy, what do you think about it?
Um, well, nowadays, the society had some problems with the technology. For example, I know that I have a problem with my cell phone because I used a lot of time and I know it, but it's not a worship. It's like a situation that I need to be communicated with my family or someone else, but I like to take photograph and I have too many things in my cell phone and then I use a lot. But it's not worship, it's like an addiction, I think.
Mhm.
That's its other thing different.
That's it. Yes, you're right. Okay, pretty good. You know what? I don't know if I have any addiction, if I have any worship, or if I have a relationship with my computer. I don't know what, but sometimes I feel like I love it. I my computer is the very first thing I see in the day, and it is the last thing that I see during the day. And whenever I begin my day, I say hello to my computer. And whenever I go to bed, I say goodbye to my computer. So I don't know if it is dependence, if it is worshiping, or if it is necessity. But you know what? Nowadays, I guess that I see my computer more than my family. So I have
Oh
to,
my,
yeah. So I have to consider
me
what
either.
literally. So I have to consider what am I doing? What about my life?
You are working teacher. That is good for us.
Yeah, that's good for me too. All right. Rogelio said, I worship my family, my neighbor, to animals, the sun, Mother Nature. Hey, that's beautiful, Rogelio. That's really good. Yes, you're right. Okay, and so, you know what? I think that mankind, the human beings, have come to a point to worship money. Because, for example, the governments of different countries fight because of economical power, and they are even in the point of killing people for having power. What do you think about it? Is it worship? Is it idolatry, or what is it?
I think that it's difficult to say. It's like a mental illness, I suppose, because kill people for money or for power is like the worst thing in the humanity for me.
Yeah, that's it. But you can see, for example, that there are many countries which invade other countries. They send their army, their military forces to get the oil, the petroleum of all of some other countries. And so they don't care if they have to kill innocent people. But anyway, what they do, of course, what they are chasing is the economical power.
Yes, it's terrible, but human beings are like dichotomical, or very good or very bad, you know?
Yes, that's it. I totally agree with you. And
I don't know.
but it is, I think that it is a real pity. It is so sad because the nature of human shouldn't be to be behind the power, to be looking for money. It should be helping each other. Somebody told me that nowadays problem is that people worship things and use people, and we should worship people and use things. That's the difference.
Yes, you are true. Yeah, it's right. That's the situation.
And it is very sad.
Yes, it is.
But well, anyway, I don't know. What do you think about this topic? For me, it was so passionate, so interesting. Ah, look at this. Rogelio wrote, I'm not prepared to answer that, but I think it's a disease of mind. Kill for money or for power. I totally agree with you. Could anybody say something else, or do anybody want to say any other comment?
Teacher, I think that problem is difficult to answer because we don't think the uh, petroleum is so important to kill people. I disagree to that. I don't know how another thing to say because that is so ugly.
So, yes, it is so terrible, incredibly terrible.
And the technology say we don't need petroleum to the car, to the another things that they have petroleum, plastic, and another things. But some people think they're going to be multimillionaires to do that, and that is terrible.
Yes, that's it, because money is God nowadays. And so if you have money, you have power. If you don't have money, you are not anybody. And so that's not the the essence of human being. But sadly, it's the ideology of many people.
Yes.
But well, what I wanted to tell you was that we should worship people and use things, not to use people and worship things. But anyway, I thank you so much for your attention, for your attendance today, and for your participation. I hope that this topic has been interesting for you. And well, see you next class.
Yes, teacher.
See
Good
Thank you.
you.
night,
Thank you.
everyone.
Good
Good
night.
night.
Bye. Have a good night.
See you later.
Thank you. Bye.
Likewise.
Bye.
See
Thank
you
you
next
very much. Good night.
Good
Good night.
night. Bye.